In the journey of life, there are people who inspire us, guide us, and lift us. But just as there are those who uplift, there are also those who weigh us down, erode our trust, and quietly undermine our character. These are individuals we should never give our trust or respect to, not out of judgment or contempt, but out of the Stoic commitment to protect our peace, our principles, and our integrity. If we're to stay on a path of wisdom and virtue, it's crucial to recognize and maintain distance from certain types of people. First, beware of those who consistently betray others. Betrayal is a deep violation of trust, a rupture that reveals a person's inner instability and lack of loyalty. A person who speaks ill of others, who has a habit of deceiving friends, colleagues, or even family, shows their nature openly. Stoics teach that trust is the foundation of all human relationships, and when someone betrays, they break that foundation with a recklessness that reveals a character shaped by self-interest and disregard for others. If they can betray another, they can easily betray you. Respect is reserved for those who cherish and protect trust, not those who disregard it whenever it suits them. And then there are those who manipulate, the ones who twist words and emotions to serve their own ends. Manipulators take advantage of our kindness, our empathy, and our goodwill, viewing others as mere tools for personal gain. Their craft is subtle. These people may flatter, guilt-trip, or twist truths to influence others. Stoicism values clear thinking and direct communication, while manipulators use dishonesty as a mask. They play with others' vulnerabilities to get what they want, with no regard for the other person's well-being. This kind of person is unworthy of respect, as they distort the natural trust and openness that true friendships and relationships require. Another type to avoid is the habitual liar. While everyone makes mistakes, and sometimes words slip in error, habitual liars deceive intentionally, weaving a web of falsehoods that only serves their ego. To live as a Stoic is to value truth as a fundamental aspect of a virtuous life. A liar disrupts that pursuit, causing confusion, mistrust, and frustration for others. With a chronic liar, you never truly know where you stand. You can't rely on them to speak truthfully or stand by their word. Such people drain the energy of those around them and create unnecessary mental chaos. In Stoic thought, the path to inner peace requires clarity, and clarity is impossible with someone who lies as a habit. Also among those to keep at a distance are those who thrive on conflict. Some individuals seem to seek arguments, disagreements, and clashes for the sheer thrill of it. Conflict for them isn't a chance to learn or grow, but a playground to assert dominance or simply stir chaos. The Stoics understood that life brings enough challenges and obstacles without adding avoidable conflicts. A peaceful and thoughtful life doesn't have room for those who stir strife for the sake of it. These people bring no value. They only drain the calm and strength we work to cultivate. Respecting them grants legitimacy to their harmful approach, undermining our own commitment to tranquility and resilience. Then there are the envious. These are people who can't bear to see others succeed, who view someone else's joy, progress, or happiness as a personal affront. The Stoics believed in celebrating others' good fortune as if it were our own, finding joy in the successes of others without jealousy. But the envious poison every environment they inhabit. Instead of lifting others, they try to pull them down, resentful of others' achievements. They harbor negativity, and if we let their envy infiltrate our own lives, we risk taking on their bitterness. Such people should not hold a place in our lives, as they will only weigh us down with a resentment that has no purpose. It's also wise to avoid those who are arrogant and prideful beyond measure. A healthy amount of pride in one's achievements can be respectable, but arrogance is a dangerous trait. Arrogance blinds people to their own flaws, making them unwilling to learn, grow, or admit mistakes. The Stoic approach encourages humility and a constant openness to learning. An arrogant person, however, is too absorbed in their own perceived greatness to respect others or see the world clearly. They believe themselves above correction or improvement, and by allowing their company, we risk adopting their attitude. Respect is reserved for those who show modesty and humility, not for those who elevate themselves unjustly. We should also keep our distance from those who exploit the kindness and resources of others. These individuals take advantage of goodwill, always asking for more than they give, creating a one-sided relationship. Stoicism values reciprocity and mutual respect, with each person contributing honestly and with integrity. An exploiter, however, takes without remorse, draining others of energy, time, and resources without giving anything back. They use others as stepping stones to serve their own needs, and with such people, our lives become lopsided, filled with taking rather than giving. Respect is not due to those who live with such selfish disregard for others. Another group to be wary of is those who gossip. Gossip is a quiet poison, often disguised as casual talk, but it corrodes the trust and goodwill in any group. Gossipers spread stories that are often false or exaggerated, causing unnecessary harm and misunderstandings. They pull others into their negative narratives, encouraging others to judge and disrespect others without evidence. Gossip lacks integrity, and the Stoic approach to life demands integrity in thought, speech, and action. When we engage with gossipers, we compromise our commitment to honesty and dignity, participating in a cycle of negativity that serves no positive purpose. Avoid those who are ungrateful, for gratitude is a cornerstone of peace and contentment. An ungrateful person fails to appreciate the blessings, small or large, in their life. They're quick to complain, always finding something lacking and never pausing to acknowledge the good. Such people drain the joy out of any situation, casting shadows on moments that deserve appreciation. Stoicism teaches us to value what we have, to see the abundance around us, and to live with a sense of satisfaction and humility. But an ungrateful person pulls us into their dissatisfaction, always emphasizing what's missing rather than what's present. They lack the basic grace of gratitude, making them unworthy of our respect. Indeed, protecting our peace and virtue requires a vigilant approach to relationships. This vigilance doesn't stem from cynicism, but rather from wisdom, a recognition that certain people will detract from our growth rather than contribute to it. It's not about fostering a guarded or mistrustful mind, but about protecting the clarity and tranquility essential to a life lived with purpose and intent. Consider those who lack self-discipline, another group to avoid if we aim to live with a sense of purpose. These are people who give in easily to impulses, whims, and desires without thought to the consequences. Their lives are often dictated by fleeting urges, and their lack of control often results in chaotic behavior that can ripple outward, affecting everyone around them. Stoicism, as a philosophy, highly values self-discipline as a pathway to freedom. A disciplined life is one in which we are not ruled by our immediate desires, but guided by wisdom and reason. Those without self-control not only disrupt their own lives, but also bring instability and unpredictability to others, creating a chaotic environment that disrupts inner peace. There is also something to be said for those who harbor resentment and grudges. Such people carry the weight of past hurts, allowing anger to guide their interactions. A Stoic life seeks to move past grievances, to forgive not necessarily for the sake of others, but to liberate the soul from the toxicity of resentment. Holding onto grudges stunts emotional growth and clouds judgment, turning a person into a vessel for bitterness rather than growth. Those who nurse resentment are often the first to misunderstand, to accuse, to react with hostility. They view the world through a lens of hostility, interpreting situations in ways that reinforce their grievances. Being around such individuals can tempt even the most composed to fall into similar patterns, disrupting the Stoic resolve to live in harmony with others. Then we should consider the destructive influence of the overly pessimistic, the ones who find fault in every situation, no matter how minor. While realism is a virtue, persistent pessimism drains energy and saps hope. Stoicism encourages us to anticipate challenges and prepare for life's difficulties, but also to find value and meaning in our circumstances. Chronic pessimists, however, are entrenched in a mindset of negativity, seeing problems even where there is opportunity. This constant negativity can chip away at one's optimism, the quiet courage that helps us face the inevitable challenges of life. Being around such people dims our inner light as they pull us down to their worldview, where joy, possibility, and contentment are continually overshadowed by doubt and distrust. The unreliable too fall into a category of those to be avoided. Reliability forms the bedrock of any trustworthy relationship, as it assures us that someone will be there when they say they will be, that their word holds value. Unreliable people, on the other hand, lack this consistency, showing up only when convenient or making commitments they never intend to keep. In a Stoic view, reliability is part of justice, each person fulfilling their responsibilities, their duties to others. An unreliable person takes without giving back, disrupting the balance of trust in any relationship. They let others down without remorse, and relying on them creates disappointment, frustration, and wasted energy. Our lives are better served by those who value their word and follow through, allowing for mutual respect and shared reliability. Moreover, those who live lives of excess, who indulge in pleasures without restraint, should also be kept at arm's length. The Stoic philosophy doesn't condemn enjoyment, but promotes moderation, a balanced approach to pleasures that doesn't enslave us to desires. Those who live excessively, who indulge in every whim, lack this balance, often prioritizing immediate gratification over long-term well-being. They become entangled in cycles of consumption, craving and more craving, never feeling truly satisfied. This endless pursuit of pleasure not only wastes resources, but also prevents true fulfillment. When we surround ourselves with those who live in excess, we risk normalizing their behavior, slowly adopting a mindset that places more value on fleeting pleasures than on lasting virtue. Similarly, avoid those who belittle others or act with cruelty, as they reflect a fundamental lack of empathy. Cruelty is the antithesis of Stoic virtue, which values kindness, understanding, and the notion that we are all interconnected. Those who mock, belittle, or harm others for their own satisfaction reveal a deep-seated insecurity or sense of superiority that has no place in the Stoic ideal of unity and compassion. Their behavior cultivates an environment of fear and mistrust, making others feel small or unworthy. Respecting such individuals only reinforces their negative behaviors, encouraging them to persist in actions that harm others and diminish our shared sense of humanity. True strength lies not in cruelty but in kindness, a principle that Stoics hold in high regard. We must be wary of those who are overly dramatic, who exaggerate events, emotions, or experiences to draw attention to themselves. Drama distracts from the true nature of things, creating unnecessary tension and stress. Stoicism values clear perception, seeing things as they are without distortion. People who thrive on drama, however, create distortions for their own amusement or to gain sympathy, manipulating situations to fit their narrative. They disrupt peace, creating unnecessary complications that detract from the natural flow of life. Engaging with such individuals encourages emotional exhaustion and can easily lead us away from the calm, centered mindset we strive to maintain. By surrounding ourselves with those who cultivate honesty, reliability, humility, and kindness, we naturally become more aligned with the principles of Stoicism. We can preserve our tranquility, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and focus on the inner growth that leads to true fulfillment. Embracing a life of virtue means continually cultivating relationships with those who encourage us toward wisdom, strength, and tranquility. However, another category of people we should avoid includes those who are overly competitive in a way that is toxic, always seeing life as a zero-sum game where someone else's gain is their loss. A healthy amount of ambition is natural and can be admirable, but some take competition to an extreme, harboring a spirit of rivalry that's rooted in jealousy or insecurity. They view every achievement by others as a threat to their own self-worth. Stoicism teaches us to stay centered on our personal path, not to be swayed by the comparisons and contests others set up around us. Toxic competitors, however, push us toward a lifestyle that's always in comparison, always in struggle, and it diverts us from focusing on our own unique progress. Engaging too deeply with such individuals can lead us away from our values, prompting unnecessary stress and self-doubt. Another challenging type of person is the one who plays the perpetual victim. While we all face hardships and setbacks, the perpetual victim sees themselves as forever wronged by others, never responsible for their circumstances. This mindset can be tempting to fall into when life is hard, but it's also deeply disempowering. The Stoic way encourages us to take full responsibility for our lives, to accept what we can't control, and to focus our energy on what we can. Perpetual victims, however, sap our empathy, turning every conversation into a list of grievances and complaints. By constantly shifting blame, they avoid growth and introspection, remaining stuck in a cycle of helplessness. Surrounding ourselves with such individuals encourages a similar mindset, where we focus more on what's been done to us rather than how we can grow from it. To live with peace, we must focus on self-empowerment and resilience rather than adopting the mentality of a victim. Also be cautious of those who are emotionally unstable to the point of being erratic. Life inevitably brings emotional ups and downs, but some individuals seem to live at the extremes of emotion, creating chaos for themselves and everyone around them. Their unpredictability can lead to unnecessary drama, making every interaction feel like walking on eggshells. While compassion is important, it's equally crucial to guard our own emotional balance. Stoicism values temperance, the ability to manage one's emotions wisely, not allowing every feeling to dictate action. Emotionally erratic people disrupt this balance, often projecting their turmoil onto others, bringing tension into relationships. While they may need support, it's essential to maintain boundaries to protect our own stability, as engaging too closely with such individuals can lead us away from our commitment to inner calm and perspective. Those who disrespect boundaries are also unworthy of trust and respect. Boundaries are essential to healthy relationships, defining personal space and mutual respect. Some people, however, refuse to honor these boundaries, constantly intruding into our lives, pushing limits, and taking liberties without consideration. They may demand excessive time, ask for favors they are not entitled to, or invade personal matters that aren't their concern. Stoic philosophy champions the value of autonomy and the respect of others' space. When someone disregards boundaries, they undermine this fundamental respect, making it difficult to live a peaceful, balanced life. Constantly defending against boundary violations drains energy and creates an environment of discomfort and stress. To maintain serenity, it's essential to be surrounded by those who respect personal space and value mutual understanding. In addition, be mindful of those who hold grudges against life itself. These individuals are perpetually dissatisfied, often feeling that life has dealt them an unfair hand. They harbor a deep-seated bitterness toward existence, complaining about their circumstances, resenting the success of others, and feeling generally wronged by fate. This outlook is fundamentally at odds with the Stoic mindset, which encourages gratitude and acceptance of life's unpredictable nature. To the Stoic, every experience, good or bad, is an opportunity for growth and learning. But those who harbor bitterness bring a negative energy into every interaction, focusing only on what's missing or what could have been better. Their resentment, left unchecked, can influence those around them, turning conversations into sessions of shared discontent. To live wisely and peacefully, it's best to avoid such people, as they divert us from gratitude, pulling us into a cycle of dissatisfaction. Similarly, avoid those who are quick to judge others without understanding or empathy. These individuals jump to conclusions, often viewing others through a lens of criticism and superiority. Judgmental people impose their values and beliefs on others without truly understanding the complexity of different perspectives. They lack the openness and humility that Stoicism values deeply, as Stoics recognize that we cannot fully understand another person's journey. When surrounded by judgmental people, we risk becoming more critical ourselves, adopting their narrow mindset that assumes superiority over others. This kind of judgment erodes empathy and builds an environment of divisiveness, making it harder to cultivate genuine, understanding relationships. Beware of those who are endlessly materialistic, who place the highest value on wealth, status, and outward success. To a Stoic, virtue is the only true good, while material wealth is indifferent, useful but ultimately meaningless in the pursuit of a wise, fulfilled life. People obsessed with materialism live as though their worth is tied to possessions, constantly seeking more, yet never feeling content. This endless pursuit of more draws them away from inner peace, as they are always concerned with appearances and comparisons. Surrounding ourselves with such individuals can easily shift our focus, making us more susceptible to valuing material wealth over inner growth. They pull us into a cycle of consumption and comparison, which can erode our contentment and distract us from cultivating true virtues like humility, kindness, and resilience. By choosing relationships with discernment, we create an environment that fosters peace, wisdom, and strength. Life is short, and the people we keep around us play an immense role in shaping our character and daily experiences. By distancing ourselves from these types of people, we protect our path, ensuring that our lives are filled with purpose, clarity, and the quiet strength that Stoic wisdom offers. In this way, we not only safeguard our own well-being, but also remain steadfast in our commitment to live with integrity and peace. Choosing relationships with discernment isn't about building walls or rejecting others out of pride. It's about valuing the sanctity of our inner peace, the clarity of our purpose, and the strength of our character. When we allow certain people into our lives, they inevitably leave an imprint on our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. The company we keep has a profound effect on our path, subtly influencing the way we respond to challenges, the way we perceive our own worth, and even the goals we pursue. There is a type of person who lacks accountability, someone who avoids taking responsibility for their actions, always shifting blame onto others or external circumstances. To live stoically is to embrace full accountability for our choices, to see clearly the connection between our actions and their outcomes. Those who evade accountability live as though they're exempt from consequence, never pausing to reflect on how their actions impact others. In their eyes, they are always the victim, always the one wronged, which creates a cycle where they remain stagnant, failing to learn from their mistakes. associating closely with such individuals risks infecting us with a similar mindset, weakening our sense of personal responsibility and hindering our own growth. Also, be cautious of those who use people as stepping stones, those who build relationships solely for their own advancement, ready to abandon them the moment they no longer serve a purpose. These individuals lack genuine interest in others and see people merely as tools to be used. The Stoic way values genuine connections, relationships built on mutual respect and shared virtues. The user type, however, will discard loyalty for gain, leaving behind a trail of broken trust. Their lack of sincerity and loyalty corrodes the very foundation of companionship and connection. Trusting such people can lead us into a cycle of superficial relationships where trust and respect are scarce, and we become constantly wary, questioning the intentions of those around us. There are also those who feed off of drama, thriving in chaos and conflict because it brings them attention or a sense of importance. These people live in a state of continuous turmoil, moving from one dramatic episode to the next, often dragging others into their emotional storms. Drama seekers are quick to amplify minor inconveniences into full-scale crises, creating an atmosphere of tension and unease. For a Stoic, peace is found in quietness, in the ability to see life's challenges with a steady mind and to avoid unnecessary emotional entanglements. Engaging with drama seekers pulls us away from this tranquility, entangling us in a whirlwind of exaggerated emotions and constant crises. By allowing such people into our lives, we risk being drawn away from our pursuit of stability and mindfulness. The passive-aggressive, too, are worth noting. Those who express their grievances through indirect means, choosing subtle jabs and veiled remarks instead of open communication. Passive aggression creates an atmosphere of tension, leaving others to guess at hidden meanings and wonder about true intentions. Stoic values emphasize honesty and straightforwardness, the courage to speak plainly and directly. When dealing with passive-aggressive people, however, communication becomes fraught with hidden meanings and unspoken frustrations. This indirect approach breeds confusion and mistrust, robbing us of the clarity and openness needed for genuine connection. To preserve our own sense of calm, it's essential to surround ourselves with those who communicate with honesty and sincerity without resorting to games or hidden resentments. Another category to avoid is those who constantly seek validation from others, basing their sense of worth on external approval. People who rely on validation live in a state of constant insecurity, needing others' approval to feel whole. Stoicism teaches us to look within for our sense of worth, to cultivate self-respect that isn't dependent on the praise or recognition of others. But validation seekers live as though their value is always under question, forever seeking reassurance from external sources. This dependence on approval can subtly influence us, drawing us into their world of comparison, insecurity, and constant self-questioning. By surrounding ourselves with individuals who are self-assured, we reinforce our own commitment to inner stability, avoiding the traps of comparison and external validation. Be wary of those who lack empathy, for empathy is the foundation of compassion and understanding. Those who lack empathy view others' struggles, pain, or happiness as insignificant, often acting with insensitivity or disregard for others' feelings. The Stoic approach values connection and understanding, an acknowledgement that we're all part of a larger whole. But people without empathy see themselves as separate, indifferent to others' emotions and needs. This lack of empathy creates a cold and disconnected environment, one where people feel unseen and unsupported. Engaging with such individuals can erode our own sense of compassion, leading us away from the shared humanity that Stoic teachings emphasize. Surrounding ourselves with empathetic individuals encourages a community of support and understanding, fostering bonds that nourish rather than drain. Also avoid those who are perpetually disorganized and chaotic in their approach to life, the ones who live in a constant state of disorder and unpredictability. Stoicism values order, structure, and a thoughtful approach to daily life. Chaos and disorganization bring unnecessary stress, creating obstacles where none need to exist. While some amount of spontaneity can be refreshing, a life without order disrupts the calm and clarity Stoics strive to maintain. People who live in chaos often expect others to compensate for their lack of preparation or thoughtfulness, placing undue burden on those around them. Involving ourselves with such individuals leads to a life filled with preventable complications, dragging us away from our own goals and clarity. Be cautious of those who lack ambition or purpose, drifting through life without direction. Stoicism encourages us to live with purpose, to pursue meaningful goals that contribute to our own growth and the well-being of those around us. People without purpose often live passively, reacting to life rather than actively shaping it. This lack of ambition can pull us into a similar state of complacency where we drift without intention or direction. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who are driven and purposeful inspires us to pursue our own goals with clarity and commitment, reinforcing our dedication to a life of meaning. By mindfully choosing those who walk alongside us, we create a life aligned with our values, a life marked by calm, resilience, and inner strength. Avoiding these types of people allows us to focus on relationships that uplift, empower, and contribute to our pursuit of a virtuous, fulfilling life. This path is not one of isolation, but of discernment, choosing to protect our peace and clarity in a world filled with both light and shadow. In this way, we honor our commitment to wisdom, creating a life where trust, respect, and purpose are truly nurtured. In our journey to live a life of wisdom and inner peace, the people we surround ourselves with play a crucial role. By discerning who deserves our trust and respect, we create an environment that nurtures resilience, clarity, and tranquility. Avoiding individuals who drain our energy, distort our values, or disrupt our peace isn't about judgment. It's about protecting the foundation of a fulfilling, virtuous life. When we align ourselves with people who uplift and inspire us, we strengthen our path to inner strength and purpose, embracing a life filled with genuine connections and true respect. Thank you for watching. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected for more insights on living a life of meaning and wisdom.